You took your best live launch, your master classes, your emails, the offer that sold super, super well when you did a live launch, and you turned it into an evergreen funnel. And people are just not buying. And you have the exact same offer, you are using the same messaging, you have the same positioning, you are the same person, and you have the same audience. So why? Why do you have a different result from your live launch to your evergreen sales funnel? First of all, nothing is wrong with your offer and your evergreen funnel. My clients are signing up 5 to 10 people every single month from the evergreen funnel into their signature offer. So evergreen funnels works very, very well. But yours has a little problem somewhere. Okay, so let's see how to fix this today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Gwen. I'm a backend sales strategist, and I help female founders like you who already have a successful business, doing live launching, doing content on social media to sell your offers, build invisible sales systems like funnels and email sequences that sell their offers whether they post that day on social media or not, whether they are doing a live launch or not. By the end of this episode, you will know exactly why a launch that converted live stopped converting the moment you make it evergreen, and what needs to change before it can sell without you again and again on repeat. And I will tell you the one thing I now do for every single one of my clients before we touch a single email, because of something that I learned back in 2021 the hard way. So one of the most common belief I hear, and that's what I want to start with today, is that if people bought during the live launch, of course they are going to buy when you transform this live launch into evergreen. But that doesn't work like that, does it? So when the funnel doesn't convert, what typically we do is that we go through the possibilities in our head. Maybe this offer only works when I teach it live. Maybe my people need me to be here present, super excited and live to buy from me. Maybe I tweaked something in those emails or in this live launch when I transformed it into evergreen and I broke the whole thing. And you end up thinking that evergreen doesn't work for you. Evergreen doesn't work for your brand. You have a different business model that doesn't work for you. You just have to live launch for the rest of your life. No. The truth is that none of those possibilities that I have mentioned are actually the reason that it's not converting. The reason that your live launch is not converting, okay, that your emails were never written to do the selling. They were never meant to be the main selling mechanism. You were. So your Instagram content was, you showing up on your stories every day, where people were in the vibe with you. Okay, they were watching other women joining because you were sharing it on social media. They were getting the FOMO. So the emails had one job during your live launch, which is helping you stay top of mind, helping you deliver the details of the offer. And maybe most of those emails actually repeated what you said in your social media content. So the truth is that you were the one handling all the sales. And by handling, I don't mean that every single person who was buying from DMs or sales calls. It's possible. But what I mean is that they bought because of what you were bringing somewhere else, not in the emails. So when you transformed the launch into a funnel, you didn't transfer your selling system into Evergreen, okay? Because you were the selling system. And suddenly you are not here in your stories anymore, okay? You are not here in your social media content anymore. If people are checking your social media content while they are in your funnel, you may be talking about a completely different offer, right? And so what you did is that you transferred the assets of your live launch and you deleted the part that actually made sales, which is you. Okay, you were the part that made sales. You have not actually built an evergreen funnel. What you have done is not build one, is recycling your live launch while removing the only part that converted, which is you. So the question here becomes, what does the funnel need to do when you are not around? Okay, what does the funnel need to do? And there are three things, okay, three things. And the third one is the one almost everyone refuses to accept. So be ready. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And let's look at those three elements. Let's go. So element number one, okay. What was really selling during your launch? I want you to think back about your last launch, your best launch, the one that you would love to reuse and sell on Evergreen for you all day long. What was happening? You were probably posting in your stories every day. You went live maybe once a week. People were DMing you. You were answering every single question yourself in the DM. There was a deadline. There was the cart closing. You were presenting who was joining the offer. People felt the FOMO, all of the things, right? So there was all of this energy around. And now, when you think about your emails during that same launch, what were they doing? They were introducing maybe the masterclass, sending the replay, delivering the details of the offer, reminding people that the cart closes tonight, maybe sharing with them one testimonial, like a case study. It was helping you stay top of mind. So most of them were saying what you were already saying on social media. Am I right? So before you judge your funnel, I want you to do this exercise, which is then looking at every single thing you did to sell during this launch. All the urgency, the social proof, all of it. Because every single thing had a job, okay? And in your funnel, this job, who is going to do it if it's not you doing it? And that's the problem. And by the way, your email open rate during your live launch may be looking super good. And so you assume that the emails were working, people were buying because of the emails, but no, they were not. If not, your Evergreen sales funnel would work very well, okay? And there is a very big difference between people opening emails and actually buying because of what you said in your Instagram stories. And I know it because this happened to me so many times. Okay, I do a lot of live launches too. So I know really the difference on how to make sales in both, which is very different. Now, let's look at element number two, okay, which is the trap of the next launch. And you're going to see what I'm thinking. So what happens when the funnel doesn't convert? This is the second element I want you to pay attention to, because this happens to literally all of my clients before they start working with me. So most of the time, here's what I see. Okay, instead of learning once and for all how to convert a live launch into an evergreen funnel that sells day in and day out, you create another low ticket offer that is going to sell your signature program, or your signature offer, your mastermind, or your high ticket one-to-one. You do another live launch because you know that when you do a live launch, that converts and it feels safe. But think about what that does, okay? Every single time you do a launch, that imprints the belief in your mind, okay, a little bit deeper, that people only buy when you're live. And so you tell me you want sales to come in whether you show up or not. And I believe you, but your actions keep reinforcing the exact opposite. Okay, you stay in a business where you are responsible for closing 100% of the sales by showing up live, sharing the links in your DMs, sharing the links in your stories, blah, blah, blah. And I know that, okay, I know that this is not, and I know that this is not what you truly want long term. You want to live launch because you love it. You post on social media because you love it, never because it's the only way for you to make sales. And this is where my 2021 story, by the way, comes in, because I almost became the woman who gave up on funnels completely. So, and that goes with our element number three. So our element number three is what your evergreen emails actually have to do. Okay. So quick backstory here. Starting in 2016, I was filling all my in-person offers from a brick and mortar business using 90% of backend strategies, including funnels. And I just never realized that they were funnels. Like I didn't call them funnels. So when I started my online business 4 years later in 2020, I did backend strategies to sell my offers, funnels, because that's what I knew, that's what felt safe for me, and that's what worked. Okay, the same way that probably for you, you have live launching working, or content, or a certain way of making sales. But I knew that I was a baby in this. Okay, I had never actually studied funnels. I just did what was logical for me. I'm a scientist, like I have a scientist brain. So for me, all of this stuff, like it's easy. Okay, so in 2021, and imagine I say this is easy. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to start taking funnel courses to really like learn all of this. This was 5 years ago, okay? And oh boy, welcome, high permanent headache, it was very hard. Like I was watching maybe 2 videos per day, I would say. I don't have the best memory, but I would say like 2 videos per day when I started. And I remember every single time walking out of our bedroom and telling my husband that I felt so dumb. Like I felt ridiculously stupid, super overwhelmed, which is not at all how I tend to be. And mind you, I did a PhD. Okay, I love learning. I'm a scientist. But this was something else. And gosh, I kept going. Okay, I kept going. I studied anyway. And of course, there was a lot of useful stuff in there, but it did not have to be that complicated. It didn't have to be explained like that. And I was sure that 90% of the people taking those courses were probably giving up. They would not create a funnel. Okay. I was sure of that. And I knew that there was a different way. I knew it because I was doing the different way. And I never would explain to someone how to do funnels this way. So I created it. Okay. So funnels that don't give you a headache. Funnels that are actually proof funnels you are actually proud of, that mimic your life energy, that sound like you, that are a true representation of your brand, and that convert as high as your live launch. And this is the heart of it for me. Your evergreen funnel has to be a different experience. Okay, not a recycled launch. Your email sequence has to do what your stories, your Instagram stories, they were doing, creating excitement, shifting beliefs. It has to do what your DMs were doing, answering her objections before she even asked them, because in the funnel, she's probably not going to ask it. So it has to do what your deadline also was doing, giving her a real reason to decide now that she wants to go into this. You building this without having a headache, okay? And all of this is possible, especially when you build an experience that has a beat, okay? It needs to really sound like you, which is, by the way, exactly what those quick ChatGPT Claude edits made your email sequence worse, okay? Because it removes even more of you. I have a client, okay, I'll share a little story here. I have a client, when we started, she had exactly this, okay? Her launch emails dropped into a funnel and almost nothing was coming out of it. She was not making sales from it. And we didn't throw anything to the bin, okay? We took her launch, we mapped every single job, because you have jobs that needs to be done. And in a live launch, you are doing it. But here we were engineering really the sequence and engineering the experience so those jobs are done. And today, her email sequence converts at 20%. Okay, so 20% of the people who enter it, 20%, okay, are going out being a signature program client. So she's signing 5 to 10 clients into her signature offer every single month. She has the same offer she had before. Okay, and the difference is just the experience her funnel is creating. So here's what I want you to take from today, okay? Your funnel is not really the problem, okay? The problem is that you just didn't build one, okay? And you imagine that what you built was a funnel because someone told you this is a funnel. But if we really look at what we would like a funnel to be, it doesn't have to be complex. Remember, I'm anti-headache. But we have to really build it with intentionality. And our intention is for it to do certain jobs. And the truth is that most probably your evergreen funnel was not doing all of these jobs. So it's not really an evergreen funnel, it's just an email sequence. Yeah. And what you did was just recycling your live launch and asking all of those emails that you designed to stay top of mind during a live launch to now do the entire job selling without you selling. And the best part of this, because there is a good part, okay, is that the fix uses assets you already built, you already have. So to fix this, we don't need to create new things, okay? Your live launch already proved that people want what you have. So you have this, okay? And if you recognize yourself in this episode, if you have a funnel sitting in your email platform right now, or a live launch that you did, and it's just thinking like, I feel a bit ashamed. Like I would not want people to go into this. Okay. This is exactly the work you need to be doing. And that's exactly the work I'm doing with my clients, because yes, they are already successful, but how they make money is actually very important. And they don't want that every time they need to make money, they need to show up on social media, because life is lifing. And you know what? You deserve to make sales day in, day out. If you post it on social media or if you are launching, doesn't matter, okay? Your expertise is exactly the same. And I don't want you to, and something I want you to understand also, because a lot of people ask me, how are my clients having such amazing results? And I think really the reason is that I don't hand it to you as a homework. Like I'm not like, here it is, go and do this, okay? I actually write the outline of the email sequence, the entire thing, okay, myself for all of my clients. And then we go through every single email together in a call, so they understand exactly the why behind every single email. They feel confident writing exactly the thing in their words, okay? And that's why my client never have to wonder if the new email sequence is good. And actually, the first thing that they say when I show them the email sequence is, wow. And then, of course, mind never converted. Okay, that makes sense. Like they see it and they're like, I do see the difference. I do see why your email sequence converts and mine is not going to convert. So if you are ready now to start building a business that only makes sales when you do, DM me the word evergreen on Instagram. Let's chat on what that would look like to work together on your business and really to shift your entire business from only making money when you show up to making money even when you don't show up. And if you are more the do-it-yourself queen, I'm teaching this in my upcoming masterclass, Infinite Launch, on August 11. So you can also just grab the link to sign up. It's only $11. It's in the show notes. So it really depends if this is a work that you want to do by yourself or you actually want an expert like me to do it with you. Thank you for being here with me today. And remember, you were never meant to be the only reason sales come in.